Hi everyone, welcome. I decided to come on a few minutes beforehand. My name is Giada Lubomirski and I'm with Eco Shaker. I'm going to be interviewing Natasha Tonic from Natasha Tonic Swimwear today, so I'm very excited. She's going to be joining us in a few minutes. Welcome everybody. I want to welcome you all to the Fashion and the Oceans program. Sorry, I look a little messy, but I have my little whales on my face in honor of World Oceans Day, which is June 8th, everybody. It's not now, so there's been some confusion and I just want to clarify. But we're doing Fashions in the Oceans program in honor of UN World Oceans Day, which is June 8th every single year. But this year, because of the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests, we decided to take a pause, and in solidarity, of course, and we postponed our Fashion in the Oceans program until now, June 8th through the 15th. So tomorrow is the last day, and actually we're getting a lot of requests to extend our program one more day because of all the amazing, inspiring activation going on right now. So, which it totally excites me. Again, for everybody joining us, I'm about to interview Natasha Tonic, an amazing hemp swimwear line from California, Los Angeles, California. And we are having this conversation today in support of Fashion and the Ocean to honor UN World Oceans Day, which happens every June 8th. And actually, June is turning out to become World Oceans Month, which I'm always excited when it converts to a whole month. So I'll be looking for Natasha. Natasha, I don't know if you already requested me, but while you find me, I'm going to, I think she's just joined, Natasha. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Natasha. So basically, Natasha started this incredible swimwear company focused on hemp swimwear. And our talk today is called Saving the Ocean with Hemp Swimwear. Natasha, can you send me a request, please? Oh, there you are. Excited. So anyways, Natasha Tonic. Woo!
Hey, woo!
How are you?
I'm
I
great.
just added these.
I wish I got some dolphins
Well, you
too.
can do it. I think you can do it on your screen. These are
Okay,
like
wait, how do I
things.
do it? It's gonna make me more pretty. Okay, hold on.
I don't know, but it's so cool. I
Dolphins?
love these neat little things you can do.
Okay, well, why can I not find dolphins? Maybe
Oh, there you are.
oh, well, that's
did
something. Oh,
something.
no, okay. No, maybe I'm an alien. Okay, no. Well, these are my kind of things that I use. Let's do this instead. I'll be normal, okay?
It's fine. Don't worry. Just be as you are. I love it. So, Natasha, I'm so happy that you were able to join me. So I was going to go into the story. Oh, I love your dog.
Your dog, sorry, she's a little bit like Layla.
No, it's okay. So Natasha and I just want to tell everybody that's coming in right now to join our conversation. Natasha and I met actually through Instagram, and as conscious woke mamas do, we gather together and we find each other on Instagram, and we connect and we share our mama stories, our sustainable activism or environmental activism, and anything that we can do. And Natasha and I actually have united on a few projects, which I'm very proud to say. Basta con la Plastica, Italy's first ocean awareness week last August. Natasha made these amazing bags, which I have mine, which I've like completely destroyed, but you can see such beautiful bag. It's like it was a hit. And actually I haven't sold them um, on online yet because we postponed Basta con la Plastica this year due to the pandemic and everything that's going on in the world. So we will be exclusively selling this limited bag um, for next year's initiative. So I stay tuned for that. And then for holiday, Natasha helped me make these incredible waist-less bags. Also, they're both made out of remnant fabrics. Natasha's amazing. So let's dive right in, Natasha, and tell everybody what made you start one of the most incredible, fast forward thinking conscious swimwear lines today. I mean, literally, I went on a crazy research trying to find healthy, non-toxic, beautiful, fashionable swimwear. And I found you on Instagram, and I'm so happy I did because I love your swimwear. And I want to know, I want you to share with everybody how you got to where you are and how it started.
Well, first of all, I'm so thankful that you found me because that was my beginning stages. And I was hoping that somebody can see what I thought was amazing. That's why I started, something that's more natural and not polyester. And I was hoping that a lot of people will react to it and see that it can be done in different way. And the fact that you found me and really liked it and supported me from the start was really helpful for my brand because people believe you, and with a reason, because what you say is what it is.
Yeah, but it's your designs are amazing. They speak for themselves. So I just like to always highlight the amazing work that incredible women are doing like you. So I would love to dive into hemp.
Okay.
Because hemp and swimwear, people wouldn't normally think to link the two together. So can you tell us about hemp and swimwear and how you were able to bring hemp into swimwear conversation and the textile and I want to know everything about hemp. So
well, okay. So the interesting I don't know why I'm going back to like my life, but I had a very interesting path where I always liked biology. I was always interested in nature, how it all works on molecular basis. And, from the start when I was a kid, we were learning about fibers and I was like blown, like it didn't make sense to me that cotton and everything, it's made out of plants. So it was just, and then I learned about hemp and how it's so durable. So it really stuck in my brain from way back when I was a kid, and I was just always admiring hemp fabric. And then when I was designing, before I even had Natasha Tonic swimwear line, when I was doing my other eco-friendly brand that was ready to wear, like I stumbled upon the fabric. And I always wanted to have swimwear that's not polyester because my mother put in my head from the start when I was a kid, like polyester, it doesn't breathe, you sweat a lot, creates rashes, it's too hot. And so
I know I'm actually having an issue right now because I love my vintage polyester. And
yes, from 70s especially.
I know, and I use the Goopy friend to, the Goopy bag to make sure that the synthetics don't go in the waterways and all that. But I don't know what to do. That's like a whole other panel, like what to do with your synthetic vintage. But let's go back to you.
Oh, so, that would be another thing. Yes. So then I wanted from there on to explore, and we're talking about 2011 most likely. I wanted to make the swimwear. But I had no time because it was not, my brand was not to make swimwear, and I was still like small independent business. So there is never enough time to do everything. So you have to very much focus. This is possible, this is not. And then I got pregnant and I decided to take a little break and to, I was still working throughout the whole pregnancy, which was very nice. I actually really enjoyed it. It felt like my baby is my biggest support from the start. And but once I delivered the baby, I was, well, first of all, you know how all the mothers are worried about stretch marks. Will they get, on
Yes,
the
yes.
belly when they're pregnant? At least back in the day. Now, women are not like that anymore. But
Now we're embracing everything.
yes, we're
Yes.
embracing everything. But
Yes, as we should.
back then there was so much about like use this and use that, and I was researching all the lotions or naturally based oils to wear on my belly, and then I started seeing how much if it's Leila. My dog
That
really
wants
likes
to
it.
take over the panel, okay?
Do you want to say something? By the way,
She wants to take
I'm
over.
gonna make her a hemp wedding dress. Yes, she's gonna get married.
Oh my God. So funny.
We're just joking during coronavirus that we two dogs were walking together. We should marry them, and she's gonna wear a hemp outfit. And so I guess she really wants to be in it. Layla, can you please go?
She's an ocean activist. Leave her alone.
She's although she doesn't like water that much. Anyway, so where was I at?
So you were talking about how you,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. So lotions, and then I started because for me, first time mother ever, and even if I was not, I just wanted my baby to be healthy. I didn't want to do anything chemically that would cause some defects on babies. So I was reading how it's very important, it's very organic, and to get the certifications, and skin is our biggest organ. And then I don't know how somehow I was like, well, I anyway want to do the swimwear because I used to live in the building where there was a pool on top of the building. So I would be like, well, what about polyester? Like, how does that feel? And then I was doing research, and it was explain it's basically same as plastic, and on in the heat, that's why you cannot dry your polyester swimwear in machine, because it melts. Like, the more heat, the more it releases toxins. And
yes, if you have plastic swimwear, people, which 99%, I think 100% of you own a plastic swimsuit. So like all swimwear, well, nowadays things are changing because of companies like Natasha, but all of you are wearing crude oil, and it's so toxic for your skin. So swimwear is actually such a personal item because it touches all of the parts that are vulnerable to toxicity. So when you sweat and when you are hot and all of those body juices come out, you're literally taking in all the toxins in your swimwear. So swimsuits, are pretty much, what would you say, like 99% spandex or something like that?
yes, so yes, spandex or polyester or polyamide, it's kind of all comes from plastic.
Yeah.
And yes, there will have to be a certain heat for it to really, but basically also the way it's dyed, it's mostly used direct dyes, which don't really bond with the fiber. But it's like free metals that stay, and then that can also get into your skin because that also starts reacting on the heat, and then also in the water as well. So basically, then you
bad all around, like bad
all around for water, for skin, for even to make all of these things. It's polluting for people who make it. They really have to have like masks and protect themselves, even just inhaling it, even if it doesn't touch the skin. So in general, it's not good, and I'm sure some experts can, and maybe we should have one day like maybe we should find like a really expert in this field about
next year we'll do a swimsuit panel. We'll make sure we get all the expert, we'll get EcoNail, everybody to come in and have like a whole discussion about swimwear, because people are buying swimwear right now as we speak. And like, I think majority of people don't have the education of what's in your swimsuit. And most of the time, the colors are neon and, these crazy toxic dyes, which by the way, completely pollute waterways in marginalized communities all over the world. And so you have this problem, with cheap swimsuits. cheap plastic fabrics and swimwear, toxic dyes that are going into your skin, crude oil going into your skin, but your swimsuits don't. So I want to
Well,
talk
yeah,
about
but
how
honestly, I have to say, like for me, like if we want to be 100% honest, like I feel
always.
there is no way ever that any fashion will be zero waste. First
Of
of all,
course.
there will
Yeah.
always be a little something, and I
We know that.
personally cut and everything to make sure I waste less. But there will always be a little cut-offs, you know, and things like that.
But I love that you think about it, and I bet you have like boxes of like extra fabrics that
yes,
you end up, because when we talked, I was like, find whatever fabric you have in your studio left over and let's make these bags. And you
yes.
did.
Yes, and
So
also I would love one day. Now this is just, you know, how we always talk and then ideas come up. Like I would love one day with maybe some extra fabric, because I'm trying to save, but also it's good to use it, you know, for something useful, to create something, you know, maybe even a houseware or whatever, you know, like to figure out a
yeah.
little something that will be always used by waste, not waste, but like by safe fabric, so we can always implemented instead of, for designers, many
I
designers,
love it.
it's
And
very
we're gonna
interesting to
I'm
incorporate their leftover fabric and inspire projects and how to do what, you know. Anyway, that's again
I
just
love it.
an
And we're
idea.
going to go into that. We're going to go into that in a little bit with the masks, because I noticed that you
Yeah.
have been making masks, and I don't know anything that you're doing with that. And I'm so curious. But one of my main questions for you is that a lot of people don't know that hemp is has UV protection
Yeah,
naturally. Is this
it's a
true?
naturally has a UV protection, not only because of the substance of the hemp, but also, you know, it's a thicker fiber. So basically, um, you know, what protects us from the sun. It could even be the simple t-shirt, you know, that we wear. It will give us a little bit of protection.
Yeah.
But the more open loops, you know, the more sun, if you put the fabric and look through it at the window and you see how much, you know, light you get, like the more light you get, the less protected you are from UV rays. And hemp naturally has this UV
Extra.
protection in the fiber, and other companies that I was looking online, because, and I kind of want to do the same thing. Like they have a conclusion that like 99.9% it protects from UV rays.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. I didn't know. I had no idea that hemp had like a natural UV protection to it, like naturally. It's amazing. And also there's something else that you have here that
Antimicrobial.
yes, antimicrobial. I want to
Yeah.
talk about that because I think it's fascinating. I love just learning about natural fibers, but for some reason hemp is I feel like it's still a textile that's trying to break through the fashion market. And
Yes.
we need to keep talking about what an amazing textile hemp is. And who would have thought to connect it to swimsuits? Like you're genius. So can you talk a little bit about the properties of hemp and why it's an antimicrobial fabric?
Well, it's basically the structure and essential oils that are inside of the plant and inside of the fibers. They're also inside industrial hemp. They're also in the flowers. You know, CBD oil also have these properties. So basically, sorry. So
I didn't know that.
So when you make it, I guess it stays in. Again, I'm not a chemist, but I was reading online. So when you make it, those fibers stay in, and that this just stays within the fiber. Also, the reason why you know, it doesn't mold, like let's say you put a cotton or polyester cloth, you know, in your bathroom, after a short while, if the water is falling and it just stays there, most likely it will create some mold. And hemp will not. And back in the day, they had like wash gloves made out of hemp, and like they could stay forever and not be molded, you know, for washing your body. So
You should bring those back and make them out of your
actually,
leftover.
well, now other people will too, but whatever, it's good. Yeah, maybe I should.
You should
Definitely
make
something
those
from
back.
but then it has to be a little bit scrubby. It will probably, well, I could figure it out. That's a good idea.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
please, I want one.
Okay, I want, but yes, I want
Make
one
me
too.
a washcloth out of leftover hemp, please.
Well, mine is not scratchy, unfortunately. To exfoliate, you have to have a little bit of.
Yeah.
But I already have an idea, so it's fine.
But I like the scratchy because that's exfoliation.
No, but my fabric is not scratchy. It's very, you have a swimsuit. It's very soft, so it could not be done from that. But I could focus on getting, because there's different way how you knit hemp fabric. So I can focus on one that's more like robust, more raw, and more scratchy, like in more like a really natural stage. So that could be fun. Actually, that would be so good.
So let's keep going with your questions, because I wanna get into also the masks and your project with the masks. So I had, like, now going into summer, many people are buying new swimsuits. What do you want to tell people that are about to buy a new swimsuit and don't know how toxic swimwear fabric can be? Like, what would be your number one? Like, that's the other thing is, I have some friends that are like, but I have so many swimsuits and, like, I don't wear them that much. I don't want to, like, I want to wear them until they're done and then recycle them through a textile program. So what do I do? And that's an interesting question, because, like, people don't want to waste what they have, but at the same time, what they have is toxic to themselves in the ocean. So what would you say to them?
Well, I mean, I understand how they feel, because for the longest time I would feel exactly the same way. And I mean, still, I never want to, I always try to use as much as I can what I have. I still have polyester sweatshirts, mixed with organic cotton that I feel bad. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'll have it and I'll wash it in a goofy bag. But I would say the longer you wear it, the polyester, the more like it's breaking, basically. I believe, so it actually becomes probably somewhere after 2 months of wear, if you're like extensively swim, chlorine water and stuff, this dye starts dissolving, coming off, I believe, and that goes in your skin. And also with more heat, it releases more, it's more like free toxins going out. So again, as I say, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like that would be a great thing for your body.
Especially when people, like, I have some, it's funny, I've done this before too, where, like, it's your favorite swimsuit in the world, and, like, it's been with you through so many travels and adventures, and you don't want to recycle it, and
you have good memories in this
but then, like, the elastic is all wiggly and it looks like horrible.
Disheveled, yes. Well, I mean, at some point you will probably have to recycle it. I was reading about that, because I was like, what do you do with your swimsuit? There are many suggestions how to craft it into something else,
I have a good one. How should we care for Natasha Tonic swimwear? Like, how should you care for?
Okay, that's a very good question. Because I feel like,
I don't know if I've been caring for your swimwear the right way, and I've actually been meaning to ask you. So this is great for our talk right now.
Yes. So first of all, hemp, the fabric is so natural that, like, it's always slightly different. When I buy the fabric,
Layla's like, I'm the star of the panel.
When I buy the fabric. Okay, Layla, can you please go right here, darling? Okay, cool. She's recently adopted, so she has obviously some anxiety issues.
She's like, mommy's talking to someone else and I don't
like it. Yeah, like, she's like, okay, I love you too. Okay, I love you. Okay, anyway, Layla, can you sit, please? Okay, she will eventually. And
I want to know how we care for natural swimwears, especially hemp swimwear that is yours.
Yes. So the best way to care for it, because it is natural fabric, but it's very resilient, but it is mixed with certified organic cotton. There's some percentage of that too. So you do have to be like, you know, not more gentle. It's very like you're not gonna easily get a hole in it or anything like that. But when it comes to what I noticed about swimming in the pools with lots of chemicals, like if you don't rinse it off, like, and you do this several times, it doesn't really damage the fabric. This is the thing. The fabric stays very strong and actually damages it less than polyester swimsuit that back in the day I had.
Oh my gosh.
Like polyester would go all like wittery and weird, and hemp stays all good, but the color, it does damage a little bit the color, I noticed. So what I would suggest is always, my favorite is to just like rinse it. You don't have to like every time you swim in the pool to like immediately go and rinse it or get scared like that, but like after you're done for the day with swimming, you know, which anyway you should do with any swimsuit, you rinse it. You can rinse it in cold or hot water, it doesn't really matter. Eco-friendly is better cold always. And then I like to just like reverse it inside out, because if you're in nature, you just naturally dry it. You know, it's better to leave it in semi-shady area, so it's not direct sun. This prolongs. Sorry, my dog a little bit is knocking off. This prolongs the use of the swimsuit, and so like just rinse it. You can also, I mean, honestly, you can wash it in machine in cold or hot water, dry it in machine. If you're in rush, we understand lots of people.
Yeah, someone was asking me, this was a while ago when I was because when I was in Italy and I wore your amazing swimsuit, I had some Italian women come up to me and they were asking me where I got my swimsuit. So I told them, and then I went on to the whole, like, I was like your PR agent. I was, it's 100% cotton. And they were amazed, and they were like, oh wow, that's like kind of how they used to make swimsuits, like with wool. And they brought the whole conversation about how swimsuits used to be made out of wool because they were water, you know, they were so great with water and salt water, and the wool fibers would absorb differently than synthetics. And they asked me if it was a little bit like that. And I said, actually, it feels, because I have vintage wool bathing suits, actually. But it's actually, I was like, it's much lighter. It's much, you know, more modern. It's simple. It feels so good to the skin. Like, honestly, your swimsuits feel so good on. I don't even feel like I have a swimsuit on. I feel like I have a beautiful cotton outfit on.
Especially in water, do you feel that it feels better in water than polyester? So like you feel like you're kind of naked, but you're not. You feel more in touch with water. Yeah.
Yes, your swimwear definitely feels like you're swimming naked in the water. And you know, I actually can't. I didn't tell you this, Natasha, but I used to have a swimwear line called Luna Azul, like many years ago when I was in my 20s, and So I know about swimwear, and one of the things that was challenging when I was doing that line was that, you know, the comfort level, you're basically giving up some of your physical comfort to wear these tight plastic swimsuits. So that was definitely one of the things that we wanted to make sure, like, that our lining was great, like that it was comfortable. And it went, you know, we went through a whole research process into it. But your swimsuits are they completely get rid of all of that, and just feels so good on. And I have to say, I don't know how you were able to make hemp swimwear such an interesting fabric for swimsuits, so fashionable too, like the cuts, the style that you've been able to create with your swimwear is, to me, the newest things that I've seen out there in swimwear design. So everyone that's tuned in and is tuning in as we talk, we're talking to Natasha Tonic from Natasha Tonic Swimwear, and she's sharing her journey through her company, with her company, and giving us details about hemp fabrics and natural blends and how it reacts to water, to the ocean, and on your body, how it feels on your body, and how to care for natural fabrics. And her swimwear suits. So I'm gonna go into, let me see what else, because I have like a bunch of, it's interesting. I was actually researching on swimwear statistics, and there's nothing out there. There's more, of course, statistics on synthetics. They're very general. And to be quite frank, you know, after reading Alden Wicker's, you know, article this year that went viral, I did, my eyes did open to the fact that, you know, fashion waste and fashion toxic textile statistics are very hard they're very hard as far as accuracy. It's almost impossible to really measure the amount of toxins that come from these tech synthetics, and also it's even hard to measure the health implications of these toxic fabrics. So, you know, I found that very interesting when I was doing research with Lydia, my assistant, and we couldn't find anything on swimwear specifically. So I found that very, very eye-opening to the fact that there hasn't been any proper studies on the effects on plastic swimwear. Go ahead.
Well, the interesting thing, because, you know, we knew that we would have this interview, and, you know, we a little bit lightly touched up like what we could possibly talk or not. And then, you know, when I was starting my brand, like I said, when I was pregnant, I was reading about this whole bad chemicals and polyester, bad things for the skin. And it was very much online, I gotta say. And now I don't know if people are more digging into it and people are removing things or what's going on. I feel like it's way less information on that. Like, and I was kind of feeling panicked because I wanted to give you like the numbers and the facts, and I was like, I know, you know,
a great,
because I don't like, I did that research and I created my brand and you know, I'm very busy doing design and everything else. So like, you know, I'm not someone who can constantly follow all these things, but I gotta say it was surprising. There was so little about it online this time around.
There's very little,
Just 3 years after, like, and cancer again thing about chemicals and dyes, and also, I mean, more on that than really.
You should watch one of our panels yesterday. You should watch Livia Firth's panel with Giulio Bonazzi from EcoNail. It's very interesting what he's doing with nylon fabrics, because he's been able to figure out how to remove the microplastic shedding component.
Oh, wow.
So you should talk to him. We'll put you guys in contact.
Okay, nice.
We'll figure out. But EcoNail is doing some incredible things, and these are textile companies that I think are just really leading the way in the textile market, and we need textile leaders like Giulio Bonazzi and Livia Firth as well, who does so much work in the fashion industry as far as regenerative fashion, and I just absolutely love their work. So definitely check out their panel, which happened yesterday, and I can send it to you. One thing I did notice last month when I went on your website is that you had made Natasha Tonic masks for during the pandemic, or maybe it was in March or something. I don't remember when I went on your website, but I didn't know you were creating them. Are you still creating them, or was that a special sort of thing you did for a short time?
Well, I don't know if you remember from before, I got very sick during the start of coronavirus.
Yeah, I do remember.
I'm still convinced that it was that, but still, you know, the test and something to prove now around this time, it was not available then. And I had to stop my business because, first of all, I was not feeling well. Second of all, didn't want to, God forbid, ship something. Somebody gets infected or go to my office, you know, anyway. But after I started feeling better, I was so excited because there were no masks back then. If you remember, all of a sudden everybody needed masks and it was not available, and healthcare workers needed masks and they were in danger. And I was like, how can I help and do something? And obviously I am not the person who makes masks, but I was like, okay, since now I'm feeling well, and somebody needs something urgently, I created this by hand mask for my son, so he's protected. And then I was able to just go and rescue my home sewing machine from work, and I decided I'm just gonna make some masks very free of charge for healthcare worker, and just posted whoever really needs mask.
Yeah,
they will get it free of charge.
Natasha, that you did that. Someone just asked.
Well, it's
someone just asked to pin you, and I don't know how to do that. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I should have done that in the beginning of our talk, but I just tagged you and your website in case anybody wants to go and check out your website. But one of the things, so sorry, I interrupted you, but you did it for you created all these masks for
so free. I just thought how factories all closed and obviously people are dying and healthcare workers need something, and I knew how bad this is because I thought that I had it, and how easy it is to get, because I don't even know how I personally got it, but it was just, I mean, I still cannot guarantee that I did, but honestly, it was, I could not breathe or talk and things like that. But so I asked my production person if other people are asking him to make masks, and he said he can have one worker to sew masks, and I paid for it to be very fast, like limited amount that I thought maybe I would run out of business, get out of business, but I was just, maybe I can just do something nice before it's over. And that was very nice. So it was very simple mask done super fast so people can have it. And then after that, I was so desperate with what's going on, and I decided I was able then to go and rescue my sewing machine. And I just decided I'm gonna sew some masks from leftover fabric. So literally run into the office, get all the scrap fabric, bring it home, and sewing machine. Like, do I even know how to use a sewing machine?
I love that you did that, Natasha. I had no idea. That's incredible.
And that just kind of like calmed my mind. I was just feeling, that was the one thing that kind of relaxed me from that whole stress of like, what do I do in this situation? This is so unusual and weird. And and then people really liked it, and it was from rescued fabrics. It was zero waste, and I was happy because it was using something, not wasting extra. And I was just busy sewing, and my son was like, "Mommy, you're saving lives." I'm like,
"Oh, it's so sweet." But that just brings me back to the same conversations we've had all week long since July 8th. Is that one of the only things that we have left to pick ourselves up from what is happening around the world right now, especially in the US, with the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests and all of this energy that is going on right now. One of the biggest advice that I've been sharing, and also just everybody's talking about it, is that we have to take a break and be creative. Like, we have to connect to our creativity. And I love that you, as a designer, of course, you went directly to that while you were sick, during a pandemic, during emergency mode. You went rescued your sewing machine, and you gathered all of your scraps, which, by the way, I love, because I love that you always have scrap fabric around to create. And you came back home and you made these amazing, zero waste masks in a way, because they're all made out of leftover fabrics and materials. And it's funny because I didn't even know you were doing that. And I just glanced at your site because I wanted to see, what you were up to. And I saw that in the middle, the front of the page. The mat is so beautiful. And I meant to ask you about it. So I'm glad I got a little 411 on it today. And one of the things that, let me see, there was something else. Oh yeah, where is it? Oh yeah. So one of the things that I really want to know, because obviously a lot of people maybe that are tuning in or that are gonna hear this panel, um, what are you working on right now? Like, what your designs are so amazing, and I know you have your staple designs, but what are you, can you share anything that you might be launching, or something new you're working on, or something that you're brewing? Can you share anything?
Well, honestly, I always have way more ideas than time to do it, and that's, I guess, the worldly problem. But I would love, and I've been saying that for a while now, to do like a little capsule for menswear. Also, I have a boy, and talking about toxic swimwear. You know, for boys, it's actually you have also
Yeah.
boys. So toxic. The polyester for boys is actually even more toxic than for girls.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
When, back in the day when I was doing that research,
Yeah.
it's because supposedly it that's again from internet that I was finding. It causes the like lower sperm count the longer you wear polyester extendedly, you know. After a while it's proven, you know, with rats and like back in the day the research that
that it's more harmful for males,
you know. So for boys, like in underwear and swimwear, that's really bad, because obviously I would love my son, if he wants to, of course, to have one day kids. And so these are all these things that we need to consider.
How genius, Natasha. Like, I would buy my kids your swimwear for them in a heartbeat if you did it, because first of all, that fabric that you work with is so comfortable that for little kids it would be like they could just be on in it all day. It's not even a swimsuit, you know. It's almost like
I made one little swim shorts. I made one little, Layla, can you please? I made a little swim shorts for my son, but you know, I kind of made it European style. Because I'm from Europe.
You should make like little boxer type, like little swim shorts, little boxer type, because I'm telling you, my kids would be living in them. Like, they would literally go from the pool all day and then go to bed with them.
And exactly, that's the point. So we went to Palm Springs, and I made a little shorts for him. And you know, American style is very much like a more boxy and stuff. And he's like, "Mommy, I cannot wear that around my friends. Like, it's too." I was like, "Well, in Europe, everybody's wearing this." He's like, "But we are in America." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll make you another one." But
did you make him a Speedo or something? What did you make him? You can't make him a European style.
Little boxer short, like it's almost like a biker shorts, but shorter. And he looks so cute in it. Aww. It's ridiculous how cute
he looks. Well, let's bring that European style back. Who knows?
Yeah, and I think it should be, and it's good for boys and girls, you know, honestly. Yeah. And so he was wearing it in Palm Springs when his friends cannot see him. And then he had another one. I had one from Stella McCartney because it's acronym, and so then I didn't even tell him that I'm actually checking which shorts he would wear more often. But he was more often going, let's say they're both drying on the chair, he would more often go, actually almost always, you know, for mine. And then I asked him, like, which one you think is more comfortable? And he's, well, I definitely like yours. And I was like, why? He's like, it's just like so much more comfortable on my body. And he's like, just make it a little bit longer next time.
Well, like, but that's, okay, I think that's what differentiates you, Natasha. That's what sets you aside from other swimwear lines, in my opinion, is that you cannot beat the comfort. The comfort and obviously the health component to it is, to me, the biggest winner. But obviously the fashionable styles that you have, I wish we could share some of the styles, but everybody should head to your Instagram and your website to see the incredible styles that you have. I love the one piece with the low back, and the lines are just so stunning and so elegant and chic. And like I'm telling you, I have never seen real sustainable swimwear this fashionable. So on that note, um, who is inspiring you right now regarding regenerative or sustainable fashion? I'm curious.
Like from designers and stuff?
Yeah, it could be anyone who is really trying to bring forth innovation, style, but within that world, within the conscious fashion transparency lens.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door just for my dog.
Yes,
for a second,
go for it.
Maybe she is gonna give me a little break. Okay.
Layla needs to go out for a
Okay, I'm back. So basically, I'll be honest. I feel whoever is trying to do things better and more conscious for our planet is already amazing. There's always some new things to learn. Econil did amazing progress from like a regular polyester to advanced to, you know, recycled polyester. That's huge and big, you know, breakthrough. And so there's always a little something that I learned, but like I usually am not really inspired by fashion designers, not because I appreciate all of them. I'm more inspired by nature. And I feel like I find all the answers in the nature, like, or like the feeling on my skin or the hair. And
I love
and
that
also because honestly, if you look at nature, it's like the best. There's no better designer than nature.
I love that. It's so true.
If you look at the corals, you look at the mushrooms, you look at the leaves, you know, the rocks. Like, to me, all of that, the animals, frogs, it's such a great design, and we designers can only hope that we can create something
even near
as that and complex, you know how complex it is. And but also what really inspires me are what you're saying, like innovations. Like, I like to hear everything about new, you know,
textiles,
or like what mushroom can do. Like, now mushroom can replace the leather. And I feel like there will be something with mushrooms connected also with the water. I did kind of try already because
I need to connect you to someone that is leading the way in a mushroom fabric textile technology.
Oh yes,
yeah,
please.
absolutely.
And I feel like there is something that will be between connection, you know, like the mushroom and hemp. Like,
yeah, oh my God, I love that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it could mean a lot of things, mushroom and hemp.
But honestly, so like this kind of technology where we look more into nature and how it functions and how to use more natural things without damaging and taking away from the earth, but like in innovative ways where we take away from nature, but we don't, you know, damage or scar the nature from what we're taking. Let's say hemp is better. The more you plant it, the more you know.
That, and it
has from it actually is better for planet Earth. So like, we're taking away, but it's actually rejuvenating Earth the more we use hemp. And so I believe mushrooms are self-regenerative too. So these things kind of inspire me more than really fashion designers. And anytime I can look, like, if I would read something, it would be more like, oh my God, like, look at, like, to me that's. And then it gives me inspiration.
I love what you said. It gave me goosebumps. Like, I'm asking you about, like, who is and you're like, no one is a better designer than nature. And that's the truth. And I kind of want to end on that note because it is so beautiful and positive. And I think we could all be looking at nature right now for answers, for creativity, inspiration. Instead of, you know, constantly being on our phones and on the computer. If you just go outside and go for a walk and really tune into nature, you will be inspired no matter what. And we know that because we're connected to nature. So as humans, we're directly bonded, and we should never forget that. Well, Natasha, thank you so much for this little chat. And please, anybody that is looking to buy their next swimwear this summer, please look at Natasha's website. It is absolutely amazing. Check it out. Um, Natasha, I cannot wait to do more collaborations with you because I know that when we get together, we like to get into our activism mode and, you know, use incredible fashion designs to inspire others about the things that are going on right now in the with the ocean and with the environment and also our own health. So on that note, I'm going to say bye to everybody. And please, again, check out at Natasha Tonic on Instagram and natashatonic.com. It's very easy to find. And please, if you want to post any questions, let me know. If you have any questions for Natasha, feel free to message me and I will make sure that Natasha answers or me any questions that you may have about the swimwear. And I will definitely direct you directly to Natasha to get all the answers you need. All right, my love. Thank you again.
Thank
You were
you.
amazing. And
This is so beautiful and
I
so
cannot
easy.
wait to go swimming in your beautiful hemp swimwear this summer. I actually, because of this program, I have barely gone to the beach or anything. I haven't made it to the beach yet this summer. But I cannot wait, and I'll take lots of pictures for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Kiss to the fam.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.